I'm just happy to be here to affirm Judy Farrell's position to the Philipstown Town Board. I can't think of a better person to fill this position, and I thank the Town Board for their support of this, and I think we have a great future. So on behalf of everybody in Philipstown, we'll swear Judy Farrell into the Philipstown Town Board. I state your name,
Judith Farrell,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the laws and the Constitution of the State of New York
and the laws and the Constitution of the State of New York
and all local ordinances, and that I will faithfully and impartially perform and discharge
and all local ordinances, and I will faithfully and impartially discharge
the duties of the office of council member to the town of Philipstown,
the duties of the office of council member to the town of Philipstown,
according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my ability
and to the law.
and to the law.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
After the 2 days, after the
Well, Judy,
Thank you.
I'm sure Judy has a few words to say.
Thank you all for coming, and Happy New Year. And thank you, County Legislator Nancy Montgomery, Town Board Supervisor Richard Shea, Deputy Supervisor John Van Tassel, Councilman Michael Leonard, and Councilman Robert Flaherty. And Happy New Year to my Philipstown neighbors. I've been a longtime resident of Cold Spring, a Haldane parent, an experienced advocate, and I'm so delighted to be here and honored to serve you and work for you to get things done for our town. It's truly an honor and privilege, and it's also a great responsibility to represent our community members and serve our beautiful historic town. I would like to thank my family and friends for being here and encouraging me, and in particular my brother Peter, my sister Roseanne, my nephew Nick, my cousin Linda, and especially my daughter Megan, and my neighbor Jeannie, who've come tonight. And although they're not with us, my parents, John and Gertrude Farrell, who taught us about love, family, friends, community service, and strong work ethic. My mission in life has been of service, a life of service, whether as a volunteer or working for a mission-driven agency. And now, and I've worked also to improve the lives of people, seniors, children, and people with disabilities, and now I get to work for you, which I'm really happy about. Being on the town board is not about me, it's about serving you, our constituents, and delivering for you on the town issues you care about. Protecting our environment, supporting emergency services and first responders, helping our families, including the Philipstown Community That Cares Coalition, and helping seniors to age at home and to have programs and support in the community. We also want to continue to provide services and recreation and arts programs for our teens and work with the Philipstown Comprehensive Plan Update Team for the future of Philipstown. And very important for us to continue to keep Philipstown affordable for all its residents. Please do not hesitate to contact me if I can be of assistance to you. My email here is jfarrell@philipstown.com. And finally, I just want to take a moment of remembrance as Philipstown and the Haldane School District lost a beloved teacher this week, Miss Lori Eisler, who taught my own daughter in the 2nd grade. And I hope her family and friends and colleagues at Haldane can take comfort in knowing that she touched so many lives and will be remembered. Thank you.
Welcome aboard, Judy.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to just switch things up slightly here. We're going to do the Philipstown Depot Theater Development Corporation meeting first, and then we'll go into the reorg so we don't have to torture Claudio.
Come on. He's old and needs to go to bed.
Me too.
Lord bless you. This has gotten turned around. Oh, well.
All right, I'd like to call the meeting to order. I've ascertained we do have a quorum of 4 of the 7 members because the town board is here and Claudio is here. So, Claudio, would you read the resolution?
Five of the town board members.
Pardon me?
All 5 of the town board members.
Yes.
I thought you said 4.
Need a minimum of.
No, a minimum of 4.
Oh, right.
Got it. I got it from Celia, I got it from Claudio. I
So,
want this kind of abuse, I'll stay home.
yeah. 1/3 or every 3 years, we have a meeting and we re-elect or newly appoint members to the board of the Depot Theater. We only have 3 in this class at this point. I would like to nominate Gretchen Dykstra, Cold Spring, Stephen Ives, Garrison, Terry Turner, Cold Spring, to serve for 3 years on the board of the Depot Theater. I so
Thank you.
move.
So resolve that the following persons, well, we're not there yet. Could I get a motion on the resolution to elect Gretchen Dykstra, Stephen Ives, and Terry Turner to the Philipstown Depot Theater Board?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. So resolved that the following persons, Gretchen Dykstra, Stephen Ives, and Terry Turner, are elected directors of the corporation, each to serve a term of 3 years. Gretchen Dykstra, Stephen Ives, Terry Turner. And that's it.
Thank you very much. Make a motion.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Claudia.
Thank you, Claudio.
Thanks for doing this every
I
year,
love those
being
meetings.
on the board.
Yeah, that
My kind of meeting.
I want to bring up 13 more points.
Too late.
sorry.
Call a workshop.
Meeting's adjourned. Call a workshop. All right, Joan.
Okay, next items are the reorganization meeting. And the first item on the agenda is a resolution needed naming M&T Bank of Cold Spring as the designated bank in which all town officers shall deposit monies for the town of Philipstown.
Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. M&T is a bank we've used forever.
Second item is resolution needing authorizing the supervisor to deposit town funds in one or more NOW accounts, money market accounts, and/or certificates of deposit, providing that deposits allow monies to be available or come due in a timely manner to permit the town to meet its financial obligations.
Get a motion on the resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Number 3 is a resolution needed compensating for use of automobiles in the performance of official duties at the rate of 56 cents per mile.
Can I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Number 4, a resolution needed scheduling the town board monthly meeting be held at 7:30 p.m. at the Town Hall, 238 Main Street, Cold Spring, New York, on the first Thursday of each month, except when the same falls upon a legal holiday or due to extenuating circumstances, in which case the regular monthly meeting shall be held upon the following Thursday or such day as shall be determined by the town board at the regular meeting preceding such legal holiday.
This is the same as last year and the year before that. Could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution needed declaring that items for the regular town board agenda must be submitted no later than the Friday preceding the first Thursday of the month.
Yeah. Can I get a motion on the resolution?
Good luck.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution authorizing the town board to hold monthly meetings at various locations in the town.
Motion on the resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution needed that the town board may meet every Wednesday evening at 7:30 p.m. at the Town Hall, 238 Main Street, Cold Spring, New York, to discuss and act upon such business as may come before the board.
These are our workshops, and anyone can request one, as I've said many times in the past. Could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Resolution needed designating the Putnam County News and Recorder as the town's paper of record and simultaneously will all legal notices and similar items of information will be sent to the Highland Current.
Could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Resolution appointing O'Connor Davies LLC as the town auditors at an amount not to exceed that set forth in the 2019 budget.
It was a firm we've had great luck with. I have a lot of respect for O'Connor Davies. So if I could get a motion on the resolution?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
A resolution needed naming Supervisor Shea to act as budget officer for the town of Philipstown at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2019 budget.
Could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
The next is a resolution appointing Susan Kenny as the assistant budget officer at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2019 budget.
I have to say that Sue Kenny is an excellent employee, and without her, we would be in dire straits. So my thanks to Sue. I can't thank her enough. Motion on the resolution, please.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Next is a resolution authorizing Supervisor Shea to appoint Susan Kenny as comptroller at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2019 budget.
Again, another position that Sue does an excellent job at. I mean, she spends far more time here than she gets paid for, so if I can get a motion on that resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Pardon me, all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution authorizing Supervisor Shea to appoint Ann Gallagher as confidential secretary to the supervisor at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2019 budget.
Something I'm very happy to do, and is a wonder, and just a really, anyone who knows her, just a wonderful person, and so pleasant to have in the office, so, along with being competent, always a smile, so thank you to Ann. Could I get a motion on that resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Thank you, Ann.
Resolution authorizing Supervisor Shea to appoint Maureen Etta as safety coordinator at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2019 budget.
And Maureen does a terrific job as safety coordinator. She got the new manual done. She has really stepped up the game up there as the insurance requirements demand, and she has really met those demands. So our thanks to her. I don't know if she knows we're doing this to her again, but so if I get a motion on the resolution.
So moved.
Second.
It's already seconded.
All in
by
favor?
Councilman Randy already seconded it.
Councilman Randy, oh,
Yeah, we gotta change that one.
Yeah.
Which one?
that's old. That's kicking an old school.
Uh,
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Okay.
Somebody gonna tell him.
Okay.
Nice job, Dave.
Resolution needed setting petty cash funds. Town clerk, tax collector not to exceed $450 at a time. Superintendent of highways not to exceed $100 at a time. Board of assessors not to exceed $65 at a time. Recreation department not to exceed $450 at a time. Code administration not to exceed $50 at a time. And justice not to exceed $200 at a time.
Could I get a motion on the resolution setting those petty cash funds?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Thank you.
Resolution appointing Supervisor Shea as the voting delegate to the Annual Association of Towns meeting and naming Town Clerk Miranda an alternate delegate in the event Supervisor Shea is unable to attend.
Could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Resolution appointing Tina Miranda as Registrar of Vital Statistics for the town of Philipstown and that her compensation is the fee allowed by law.
Could I get a motion on the resolution appointing Tina as Registrar of Vital Statistics?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
A resolution appointing Allison Shea as aide to the town board at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2019 budget.
Could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Another wonderful person. Glad we have her here.
Resolution appointing Greg Warner as code enforcement officer and fire marshal at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2019 budget.
I know I've said it before, but we certainly hit pay dirt when we hired Greg as our code enforcement officer. He just really fits in well in Philipstown, so our thanks to Greg. Could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Resolution appointing Robert Emmerich as Deputy Code Administrator at a salary not to exceed the amount set forth in the 2019 budget.
Again, another really great individual to have, that we're lucky with the depth of experience that Bob brings and the great attitude. So if we get a motion on that resolution.
So moved.
Second. Somebody. Anybody. All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Resolution appointing Linda Valentino as Clerk to the Code Administrator at a salary not to exceed the amount set forth in the 2019 budget.
Linda Valentino is a prize for us. She's just a lovely person, and we are so glad that she works for us. So could I get a motion on that resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Resolution appointing Tara Percocello as Recording Secretary to the Planning, Zoning, and Conservation Boards.
This is a sentence that she's doing penance for us. So we really thank Tara. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of nights out, and it's a lot of minutes. So thank you, Tara. If I get a motion on the resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
I'm getting old names here. Resolution appointing Susan DiStefano as Clerk to the Assessor at a salary not to exceed the amount set forth in the 2019 budget.
We have a great veteran in Susan DiStefano in the assessor's office. She is a wealth of knowledge, and we are, again, lucky to have such great employees. So with that, could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Resolution appointing Adam Hoteling as Deputy Highway Superintendent at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2019 budget.
Adam Hoteling, known as Mr. Sunshine, around the highway department. If you're listening, we're lucky to have Adam. He's a talented operator and, again, has a wealth of knowledge about the roads and all the conditions in Philipstown. So we're glad to appoint him. Could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Resolution appointing Maureen Etta as Clerk supporting the Highway Department at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2019 budget.
This is the true sunshine person here, Maureen, always smiling. Also, just a really valuable employee up there at Highway. And I go back to some of the storms and the FEMA stuff that Maureen did for us. It was really amazing. She went above and beyond. So thanks to Maureen. Could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Resolution appointing Terry Fleming as Clerk to the Highway Superintendent at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2019 budget.
Another exceedingly pleasant and competent person that we're lucky to have, Terry Fleming. Could I get a motion appointing Terry?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Resolution appointing Cindy Paraggio
Mhm.
as Clerk to the Town Justices at a salary not to exceed the amount set forth in the 2019 budget.
Could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Resolution appointing Kelly Bosco Frisk as Clerk to the Town Justices at a salary not to exceed the amount set forth in the 2019 budget.
Kelly, again, a pleasant person, both of them, both the clerks. And I know Cindy, I should go back and say Cindy's done a lot to clean up a lot of things that we had going on. The clerks, the Justice Department, and the justices are pleased with her, and Kelly the same way. This year, I have to point out there will be mandatory training, so they'll both be going away this year for training. So can I get a motion appointing Kelly as the Town Justice Clerk?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? And I vote aye.
Resolution appointing Mark Farlow as Town Historian.
Anybody who speaks to Mark knows that he knows a tremendous amount about the history of this area and volunteers his time willingly. I see him down at the Foundry all over the place leading tours, and for which he does not get paid, but it's really dedicated to preserving the history of the town, so we certainly do appreciate that, Mark. Can I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Now a big one.
Here we go.
Resolution appointing James Loeb, Adam L. Rod, and Stephen J. Gaba of Drake, Loeb, Heller, Kennedy, Fogarty, Gaba, and Rod, PLLC, as counsel to the town of Philipstown, to serve at the pleasure of the town board, to advise the town board, planning board, zoning board, and handle special land use issues. Said attorney to be compensated at the rate of $175 per hour to represent the town board, $175 per hour to represent the zoning board of appeals, $600 per month to represent the planning board for general services, advice, and attendance at meetings, and at the rate of $185 per hour for time to be charged to applicants' matters.
There are a lot of law firms out there, but I will say having Steve Gaba as our attorney has saved us many, many times. It's just, I look to Steve for advice and counsel on, every law issue that comes up for us. He's always available, and I just feel really fortunate to have this firm as our attorney. So with that, could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Resolution appointing Robert Cinque as counsel to handle various litigation matters, including tax certiorari litigation, and shall be compensated at a rate of $125 per hour, plus out-of-pocket expenses.
Again, another very competent attorney. Bob has handled any number of tax issues for us over the years. A really pleasant guy to deal with, too. So I've been to court with Bob many times. He defends the town very well. So with that, could I get a motion on the resolution?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
I don't know how to pronounce that word. Resolution appointing Robert Cinque as counsel to the town attorney to handle code prosecutions and advise code administrator officer at the rate of pay not to exceed that set forth in the 2019 budget.
Could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Resolution appointing Tina Emerando and Joan Klaus as marriage officers.
Next time I do it, Joan, you're going to marry me. I mean,
I'm going to officiate, not marry. Well, I could marry you, too.
Joan, thanks so much, and thanks for filling in tonight.
Thank you.
Two fine people. Could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Thank you. And now Supervisor Shea, you're to appoint someone as your deputy
Drum roll,
supervisor.
please. Now that Councilwoman Montgomery has moved on, I would appoint Councilman Van Tassel as my deputy, if he would accept.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. So I'm appointing Councilman Van Tassel as my deputy supervisor.
Thank
There
you,
we
sir.
have it.
Appreciate it.
All right, the next one we have to skip because Tina is not in attendance.
Okay.
Resolution appointing Mark Galazzo, chairman of the Conservation Board.
Since we know Mark isn't watching, and all the other members were, we're going to appoint him chair because he won't dispute it. Mark is a great volunteer for us, really dedicated to conservation, and somebody we have great confidence in, really even-tempered and handles that board really, really well, especially in the absence of Eric Lind.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
He brings a good special talent that he has in the
Yeah,
building side.
it's a really good. So with that, could I get a motion on the resolution appointing Mark Galezzo chairman of the CB?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Resolution authorizing compensation for the Garrison School crossing guard as per budget allocations, not to exceed that set in the 2019 budget.
These jobs are for people who care about school children. They obviously don't make very much money at all as a school crossing guard, but we are so honored to have them step up like this, so thank you. Could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Resolution appointing the following to the Continental Village Water District: Ralph Bazignani as superintendent, Diane Barton, water tax collector, Steve Leclerc, assistant water treatment plant operator, Stan Houghton, assistant water treatment plant operator, and Bill Rim, assistant superintendent.
Again, these people, put their time in, they get a slight stipend, not nearly enough to manage a system of this size and complexity. So we're very, very pleased to have them step forward, and our thanks goes out to them. We do have to look at this year because I know that Ralph eventually is going to want to retire, and, we do need to do some succession planning. Could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Thank you.
Resolution appointing Mike Phelan, Ralph Bazignani, and Vincent Sestone to the Continental Village Water District Advisory Committee.
Again, Ralph heading that up. Mike Phelan, just a volunteer for as long as I've been on the board in Continental Village. Really does everything down there. I mean, he handled the whole dam replacement project,
Bridge.
the bridge, and got volunteers, handles the beach, the park.
Yeah.
Vinny Sistone, longtime volunteer for the town. So we are, again, fortunate to have these people working with us. Could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Okay, resolution appointing Mike Phelan as superintendent of the Continental Village Park District.
Quickly switching hats again for Mike. Thank you. Could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
A resolution appointing the following to the Continental Village Park District Advisory Council: John Sullivan, Frederick Romer, Tony Galfano, Vincent Sestone, and Ralph Bazignani.
A lot of familiar names there. I mean, Fred Romer, Tony Galfano, Vinny Sistone. For the past 20 years, been volunteering down there. So, again, our thanks to them. Could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Now, do you want me to read all these, or just the...
No, we
No,
don't.
resolution setting the recreation pay scale for 2019.
So anyone who's interested in the pay scale for the Recreation Department, that's available, is not available in this document, but it is in the town budget. So, and in the rec budget. Nobody's getting rich down there, I can guarantee you that. So, if I could get a motion on the seasonal employees and the directors and instructors' salaries.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Okay, resolution setting the 2019 hourly rate for hourly employees who are Ryan Allen Recycling Center, Lillian Mosier School Crossing Guard, and Nazim Baksh School Crossing Guard. I'm sorry, Kim.
Okay. Again, people were fortunate to have Ryan up there every Saturday at the recycling center, making sure we keep things straight there. Lillian Mosier, an excellent crossing guard, and Zimbach, someone I don't know, but who I've obviously seen as I'm heading down through Garrison every morning. We're fortunate to have these people step forward because I don't want to get out of bed for $20 to go out and stand in the rain.
And I can tell you, Lillian takes her job very seriously.
She does.
She has got the kids in mind, and she's approached us to get training, and
Yep.
she really does an amazing job. So,
She does.
thank you, Lily.
Thank you. Could I get a motion on that resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Resolution appointing Andy Moranti as chairman of the planning board.
I sometimes wonder why Andy got off the town board to go to the planning board.
So moved on that.
Could I get a motion on Andy? Thank you for so many years of service.
Yeah, so moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Resolution appointing Robert D. as chairman of the zoning board of appeals.
I had the pleasure of speaking with Bob today, a really competent ZBA chairman, someone we're again fortunate to have. Could I get a motion appointing Bob D. chairman of the ZBA?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Before we move on, I would like to recognize Kim Connor, who's also in the audience, who has sat in as chair on numerous occasions for the planning board, so thank you.
Thanks, Ken.
Resolution appointing Max Garfinkel as wetlands inspector and natural resource officer.
Max is an excellent resource for the town, really knowledgeable about the environment and very level-headed. He can balance things out for people. As we have an issue right now with the timber harvest, but he's been
I just talking to him today on that and other issues.
extremely effective in that, in coming to a resolution for the town, but making sure the town is covered.
And a good approach to things. I mean, he handles things politely and confidently.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So could I get a motion on that resolution?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
A resolution appointing Robert Ferris as dog control officer.
Bob Ferris, currently Joe Amalika's chauffeur. I see him driving all over together. So,
Poor Gerald.
so that's his other full-time job. But, Bob Ferris does handle animal control for us, not only dog control. He's out at all hours, gets all kinds of calls. So our thanks to Bob Ferris. Could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Now, Richard, it's up to you to appoint the following council members as liaisons.
For the Highway Committee, we're going to keep things as they were. John Van Tassel would be with Highway. Planning Board, Bob Flaherty, who does an excellent job reporting and getting back to us. Land and Building, John and I have been working on the land and buildings here. We've got a big project on our hand with Town Hall. Zoning Board, John, you're going to stay with them. Mike Leonard will stay with Conservation Board. John Van Tassel, Village of Nelsonville. Village of Cold Spring, I would love Judy Farrell to take that over.
Sure.
And I had it for the last 3 years, okay?
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Well,
I've been going for last,
I'm gonna switch up because
No
Judy's in town. Thanks,
Okay.
Bob. Continental Village Park, Continental Village Property Owners Association, since Mike Leonard lives there, it makes sense that he's gonna be down there. Haldane High School, John will stay with that, but would you like to have someone to fill in case?
Sure.
Judy, would you like to
Sure.
step in on that also? Thank you. Garrison School, John Van Tassel. What do you think? Anyone else?
Yeah.
Are you able to?
It's up to you. I really never get called there, but once I think.
Well, I'm gonna put Bob in there as an alternate. Bob, would you
Okay,
do that?
Sure, no problem.
Bob Flaherty for Garrison School.
Yep.
The Finance Committee, which is sort of, going along the wayside, but I would like to keep them on for consultation. Philip Kotnak, Nat Prentice, Libby Anderson, and Donna Padala. Recreation, John Van Tassel. Butterfield Library.
How about if we have Judy assist since she came off that board?
True, and if you can't make it.
Yeah, it's
All right,
good.
Judy, we're gonna put you in as the
Judy.
alternate.
Yes.
I think you're a natural down there. Sometimes it's tough for me to get down there.
Butterfield Library. Judy, I'm gonna put you in on that also.
Happy to do Butterfield, sure.
All right.
And
I
there's
guess
another one.
that's it.
Information liaisons on the next page.
Information.
Turn the page.
liaison.
Nancy, yes.
It's right up near the top.
Oh, I see up here, information liaisons. I'm gonna put Judy Farrell in on that too. You're gonna really be taking it here, Judy. You're taking on a lot of responsibility.
Good. That's why I'm here.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I make those appointments. Thanks to everybody for doing those things. Holiday schedule.
Okay, the next is the holiday schedule. So we need a resolution approving the 2019 holiday schedule.
2019 holiday schedule. New Year's Day, Martin Luther King Day, President's Day, Good Friday, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Columbus Day, Election Day, Veterans Day, and Thanksgiving.
And Christmas.
Then we have the asterisk for the day after Thanksgiving charged to comp vacation time as an option. And Christmas this year on a Wednesday, getting closer. Could I get a motion on the resolution approving that holiday schedule?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Thank you.
And that's it.
Wow. Could I get a motion to adjourn the reorganizational meeting? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Thank you. All right. Moving right along. Monthly town board minutes. Review of the minutes.
Okay. Special town board meeting of November 20th.
That was an executive session we had on the cell tower issue. Could I get a motion on that resolution?
So moved. All right.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I vote aye. Special meeting of November 20th, 2018 to adopt a budget.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Monthly town board meeting of December 6th, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I
Judy
vote
can't,
aye.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's right, Judy, you wouldn't be here. Right.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Before we go into the full-blown agenda, I know there's a couple of people here from Upland Drive, so I don't want to keep you guys here all night if we can help it. Did you want to get up and speak now so we can get you home at a reasonable hour?
you know me, I'm Gabriel Corey. I'm 131 Upland Drive. This is one of the neighbors, Mike Squires.
I'm at 130.
Yes.
So we have a ongoing issue, which Mike knows about, the
Yes.
water going across the road. That water is directed by, I guess, the Stormwater Management. Whatever doesn't go through the pipe goes under the road, and it ends up being a waterfall going into that 9 acres of, which is now dead wood, trees, everything's dead there. When we get a storm, Bizarro, the neighbor, so he had built up the back of his property, which we've talked about. You guys say there's no way to prove it. Whether that's the case or not, it's still a problem. When it rains hard, it breaks through the normal channel, and it goes the length of his property and right across Upland Drive. I have some pictures which I'm going to submit to you guys, but we'd like the town to help us with this. We feel that part of it is the town's responsibility because that's the water, and it's not managed very well. The water that comes from all Albany Post Road, and but this is one of the pictures. Okay, this is yeah.
That's coming across the road.
Yes. Yeah, this is the berm on Bizarro's property. Who's aptly named.
Now, a couple of years ago, a couple of the neighbors up the hill.
Oh, you got to speak in the mic. Yeah, if you guys could stay back there anyway. Gabe, if you could go back to the lectern.
So, a few years ago, when you guys were doing the work on Old Albany Post Road, there was a couple of promises made. One of them was that the drainage was going to continue to Old West Point Road, which never happened. Another promise was that you guys were going to change the pipe that goes under Upland Drive. That was Roger. That was never kept as well. Now we have this problem where this water, and you can see there's a picture that shows the water coming onto my property, and there's like 3 different waterfalls. That's how powerful this is. This is a dangerous situation. So anyway, a couple of years ago, a few of the neighbors from up the hill tried to alleviate the problem. Where it comes down, there's a little bit to the left, when it comes down his property, there's a little bit to the left is the pipe that goes under the road. They were going to try and connect it, and he called the sheriff. When the sheriff got there, they managed to drop a big boulder right in front of that pipe. So now there's a big boulder,
Restricted, yeah.
which is obstructing the pipe,
Going under the road.
going under the road.
So it's about a 2-foot to 2.5-foot wide boulder that obstructs a 4-foot culvert.
Right.
Pipe.
What was his reason?
Well,
for that?
who did that?
Yeah, who put the rock there?
Well, a couple of neighbors, and then the sheriff came, so they had to stop. It was an accident. They weren't intending to. They were intending to move it out, and when the sheriff came, a couple of minutes right before the sheriff came, it fell, and that was.
So it's been there ever since.
So it's been there ever since. So
Well, if you got a machine.
our neighbor Bizarro sued the 2 neighbors, and I believe he got a total of $12,500 for damage to his property, but he never did anything to alleviate that problem. So if there was damage, he should have fixed it. Which there wasn't any damage because it.
Within the easement, though.
Yeah, if I'm correct, there's 25-foot easement on either side of the center of the road.
Yes, on a town road,
Okay.
not on a private road.
All right. Anyway, it's a bad situation, it's a dangerous situation, and it happens too often. Not only is it dangerous, but it's quite costly to myself and the rest of the neighbors up there. We're putting material on that road, 20 yards at a time.
Only to have it washed down Old Albany Post.
Yeah, 6 times, 7 times, 8 times a year.
So this seems to be, I mean, we're all familiar with this situation and the whole history, so I'm not going to go and revisit that. But another group came in talking about Upland holistically, about the town adopting Upland as a town road. And the thing I would urge everyone on Upland to do is to petition the town to take Upland on, to adopt Upland as a town road, because that would make life easier for you and give us direction. You know, it's not a small undertaking, but we have talked about it. You know, we
Yeah.
realize there's more people up there, and they're town residents, and they do pay taxes, and at this point, it feels like potentially that should come under the town jurisdiction.
And then there was another possibility that we were talking about, that you take over that part of the road as eminent domain and do whatever repairs needs to be done. And I know years ago, you guys took over parts of the driveways of the 3 neighbors below because they were having problems. You put pipes in there, but that was at that point, and I was addressed with that as well, but I was about to give up half of my land. You know,
Well,
to-
it's only, we don't own that. We have an
Right, but
easement,
the way-
to ma-
but-
we have an
but-
easement to maintain
But the
those
way it
properties.
was worded was you could do anything from cul-de-sacs to, you know, anything, really. Park equipment on there, and, you know, I wasn't really willing to do
You got to look at the history of what the town does, though.
But
So, we're not
that-
looking to park equipment in people's yards, we're looking to maintain.
that's neither here nor there. But now the town, and it's coming out of taxpayers' money, is liable to maintain those 3 parcels where that water goes under. So anything that happens, you guys are liable to
We
maintain.
are, we took that on, yes.
Right. So I'm under the understanding that you guys can do fixes without taking over.
Without taking
Without taking
over,
over,
we do have to have the right of way.
right away. Well,
Right, so that's a legal document, someone surrenders to the town the ability to come on their property and fix those things that need fixing.
but it's a one-time deal, right? You come in and you fix it.
It's not a one-time deal, it's a
No?
maintenance thing, it goes on forever. We have,
But it's also a private road.
they remain private, we're not taking ownership, but we do have the authority to come on and maintain the fix that we've made, or the improvement that we've made.
You know, besides that, you guys own 22 parcels on there?
Of
Philipstown?
vacant land, yes,
Which has a value of over $2 million.
it's vacant land.
It's kind of useless.
I know, but why is it useless? Why won't you guys sell it? And
We can't sell it, they're called in rem properties, it's not legal to sell them, we only owe them, they come to us through tax default, we get them through the county. The law says we cannot sell those properties, nor would we want to, because it seems like it would
So-
exacerbate the whole
So that
situation.
puts a burden on the rest of the, on the rest of the people on that road to maintain that road.
But how does it burden you? I'm not sure.
Well, we are the ones who have to maintain the road, right?
So
Right.
if we were to sell those properties to another homeowner, they built another house, would that help you, or
Well, if more people to maintain it, more people to.
more stormwater and?
More hard surface, it
But
would,
now,
in the
aren't there-
balance, it
aren't
would
there-
work.
Aren't there ways to manage stormwater now on new houses? They have to put in drainage and proper drainage? Isn't that a fact?
Still, the more hard surface you add, the more likely it is that someone downhill from them is going to experience a negative impact. But anyway, we're going around circles here. I'm not
So what's the
interested in
next
this.
step? How do we
The
get
next
this
step
fixed?
would be to have the neighbors petition the town board to either adopt that section of road or adopt the entire road. But that's a process. And any repairs that we do in adopting that section of road is billed to the entire road through taxes. So, you know, the rest of Philipstown is not paying for that. Everyone on the road would be paying for it. So it's done usually through a 10-year statutory installment bond and paid off over 10 years as an addition to your taxes. It's called ad valorem.
And that's a one-time deal, or you maintain it for?
Well, once the town takes possession of that, whatever section is, then we maintain it in perpetuity.
That becomes part of your budget, not.
Becomes part of our budget, not part of yours. Once the improvement, the initial improvement is paid for by the residents of the road, then it falls to the town to maintain it there in perpetuity.
But it's still a private road.
No, whatever section
Whatever section, okay.
gets adopted,
All right,
whether
all
it
right.
be that section or the entire road. But that's a discussion the neighbors would have to have.
Now, does it have to be the whole?
Doesn't have to
The
be every
whole
person,
road?
has to be a simple, it doesn't have to be the whole road, and it doesn't
No,
have to be
but
every
does it have to
person
be
agreeing
all
to
the
it.
neighbors on the whole road?
It has to be everybody on the road, because they'd all be getting taxed, but it doesn't have to be every person, it has to be a majority of the people on the road.
Right.
Mike has done this.
Right, our road in Valley below, we did
Right.
that. And there's a formula and so forth. Obviously, the vacant lots do not count as much as those that are actual houses on them. So that formula works as well. We did it, as Rich just said, for 10 years. It was the best thing we ever did. We solved a lot of problems, not just with the road itself, but also with drainage issues and everything. And at the other end, I've been working with people towards the
I know
Winston
they've
Lane
been-
end, and I've been encouraging them to look to those kinds of things. So I would encourage that road to get together as a group and make a decision, and I would recommend you take a serious look that way.
That's the only way this is gonna work,
Yeah.
It would
We
be
have to
tough
get
to take
all
a,
the property owners on Upland from end to end.
yes.
it would be tough for us to take a portion of it. I'm just trying to envision how they would plow.
There's so
Well, it
much
has to be
dead space in
continuous
between
part,
the
right.
last house on
Yeah,
our
it's
Section in the
end.
middle.
Yeah, that section in the middle, I
Is
mean, there's
useless.
nobody there, right?
Right.
So,
There's water
so
there.
either they can
It's gotta
come
be-
down the hill or go the back way. you know,
I
as
would
far
think
as
it
I'm
would have to
concerned.
be the entire road. It would have to go
They could split it.
in order to do
You
it.
could split it.
You could split it, yeah.
We've done a portion of other roads.
Well, how do you plow it then? You gotta come down and lift the plow halfway down the road? I mean,
No, they plow it and make an area where they can push the snow off.
Just past Cliffside, you could create a cul-de-sac to
Yeah.
turn around.
Oh, okay.
And then you could do that at the other end. Actually, the first part is actually Upland Court. It's actually
Right.
technically different name than the other one. They're actually technically different roads on maps, so.
Yeah, because we
you
did
could do that.
Valley, we did a portion of
Sure,
Brookside.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get paved and
How,
then
how
stop.
long, how long a road is this valley? 300?
Well, it's so 30 houses, you know,
Like
it's
500
not
yards?
like Upland, but if you took from Winston Lane into Cliffside, I'd say it's fairly close to the same length.
And
So.
if you don't mind me asking, how much did that cost? for the
I
road?
think it was a little over $1,000 a year I paid extra for that, and we
Not
all,
bad.
you know.
For 10
I mean, obviously, you're gonna pay for frontage. If you have a large frontage, you're gonna pay a little more. But we all agreed, some of us had to come up in size to our lots, and we paid a little extra to help it out to the other people. You really just get together, you can really come up with a solution and work it out. And the people that didn't wanna do it today are saying, boy, I'm so happy you talked us into it, because it was
And
the
they, and
best
they
thing
did
we
what,
ever
they
did.
paved it, or?
Yes.
They
paved
put
it,
the
you-
drainage
yeah,
in,
yep.
did the paving.
Yeah.
There was an issue about Upland Drive years ago that they couldn't do it because it wouldn't meet town specs.
We
as
can
far
go
as
and do
the grade.
alternate specs. We would have to widen the road, we'd have to put in the substantial drainage that'll be required, and we'd have to pave the road. You're never gonna get the gradient, never. But
Right.
that doesn't mean that we can't go ahead. We have
You can
East
still
Mountain
do it.
Road, we have Esselborn Road, these are all,
I believe we were turned down because of that years ago, that.
you were
can't
turned
bring-
down probably for other reasons.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving forward, that's what we would recommend you doing. We
Okay.
do have a full agenda to go through,
All
so.
right, I appreciate your time, thank you, and we will go that route.
Is that for us to keep?
Yes, please. And there's notes in the back. By the way, on
I see the.
35 Old Albany Post Road, you're going to see two waterfalls, man-made waterfalls. There's a swimming pond in there.
Right.
I thought it was illegal to obstruct the water.
Has it been recently created?
It's there.
Okay.
I don't know, it's within the last few years, yes. That was it.
It would be helpful for us if people would report these things when they see them happen or as soon as they realize they've happened, because if it goes on for years, then it's hard to prove what happened. We do have a conservation board that people can go to. We have a wetlands inspector. We have a building inspector. All these are resources that people can go to and report these things, which we wish they would, because this creates a hardship for everyone when someone takes it into their own hands to start obstructing streams or creating swimming areas. It's just not good for anyone, and it's not good for the stream. So don't hesitate to call in. Yeah, call the code enforcement department. We have, like we said, a building inspector, code enforcement officer, natural resources review officer. They'll come out. So please do, anyone in town. Anyway, we're gonna move on to the agenda. Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Committee reports, Conservation Board.
Okay, that was a nice little plug there for conservation. They're They meet every Tuesday, the second Tuesday of the month, 7:30 right here. They're a wealth of information, so I recommend it. We have been working on the timber forest project at the north end of town up by Old Albany Post North. There's a number of people we had to get together, the engineer, the highway department. We used Liaisons as well to help us with an estimate for Reservoir Road. We feel we're real close to a reasonable bond to offer to the applicant up there to be able to move forward. So we're looking also to do this Saturday, a walk down on the property. So we're working with them to try to resolve any issues for them. Just in general, rather than go into specific items, there are some, I would just ask that people be very cautious about prior to buying properties. Some cases which are coming up before us now where people are buying properties and it just appears as though they're not really taking a look into the properties prior. They're clearly running into a lot of difficulties regarding size of the lot, setbacks, wetlands on the property. These all need to be evaluated before you make that decision, because we're facing, and it's happening on the other boards as well, we're facing a lot of issues where people are buying thinking they can build, and they're running into a lot of problems. So I would strongly recommend that people seriously take a look at it. You have the resources that Rich mentioned, some of them already. You can go to the building inspector, find out, the Board of Health, find these issues out before you buy that property and take on a lot of these headaches, which then you ask us to do things, but we have to follow code. We have to follow regulations. So I would just stress that to people up front. We had some meetings this month regarding stormwater management. A few things. I want to thank the highway department. They were very zealous this year at getting out and putting on those small decals on all of our outfall structures, not just the MS4, which is mainly located in Continental Village, which is a multiple sewer system, but a lot of the rest of the town. And we plan on doing all of the outfalls. These are the stormwaters you've been hearing a little bit tonight, which flow into our streams and so forth, and it's critical that we take care of these systems because they affect our water quality. And they are being placed on, and I want to thank Highway for that. Our natural resource officer has gotten a lot of material together, and we'll be handing it to the town clerk to be placed on our town website to educate people more about stormwater protection. We've been fortunate; we have not had major storms. But a lot of people around us are. We see the storms out, in the Midwest and so forth. It's just a matter of time where it will happen again. We can't be complacent. We have to be ready. Stormwater management can sometimes fall off the agenda of people thinking about it, but it's very important that people maintain their properties properly as well to make sure they control that water as best as possible before it hits the roads. Because once it does, it can really deteriorate roads quickly, especially the dirt roads. As we've seen. We are also, the natural resource officer is setting up a series of web-based training for us to be able to train on as well and so forth. So we are working on that this year, and we look to continue that and also provide that for the highway department. And our next meeting is January 8th.
Thanks, Mike. Recreation.
I was unable to attend the December 18th meeting of the rec. Judy, I spoke to Amber. She said it was just a transfer of funds.
Yes, it was a transfer, and that she wanted our approval. And that went through, and she was going to speak to Susan Kenny.
Yeah, and then it was submitted to us, which we approved. So there was no topics really discussed that night. She did say that the next meeting is on January 29th, which is the last Tuesday of the month, at the rec center at 7:30. And Amber wanted to say we have to replace Judy. We need a candidate for the rec commission, so
That'll come up.
we will.
All right. Thank you. Philipstown Communities that Care.
That's you.
That's,
I don't have a report from Philipstown Communities that Care. I know they meet this month, and I'll give you a report then.
all right.
Thanks.
Planning Board, thank you, Nancy.
Planning Board, as everyone, last month in November, there was not a meeting, so, due to a snowstorm, so it was a pretty full agenda. On December 13th, Planning Board meeting, I'll keep it pretty brief. The first thing on the agenda was what we're gonna talk about tonight on resolution number 1, chapter 175. code chapter. Anyway, the planning board provided their support for this change, so they're all on board with the change. I know we kind of discussed it at our last meeting, and Kim got up and spoke about it, but the planning board's in favor of that change.
Great.
On the agenda, Barbara Peck Eisler, not Eisler, sorry for that, Lake Celeste Drive, Albany Post Road. Her application was approved unanimously. SJE Realty down on 1510 Route 9, the old CK Trucking, as I've been reporting on for the last few months, they just have a site amendment plan they're going through, and that looks like they were directed Rod and Gaynor to prepare a seeker and resolution to be voted on next month's meeting, so that should be approved in January's meeting. Tyler Forster, 220 Highland Drive, South Highland Road, Garrison, the public hearing. We had 3 public hearings that night. The public hearing was held, and the board had kept the public hearing open. There were a few people who voiced their concerns and so forth like that, but very few. The planning board decided to keep the public hearing open until next month. But if anyone has anything to say, they can send a letter to the planning board in writing. Christine Connell, 403 Garrison. A public hearing was held as well. The public hearing will remain open as well. There was nobody to comment on this property at all. Lowry residence on 80 Erie Road, which is right across from Papa John's Pizza on Route 9. The public hearing was also there. That was closed. There was no comments at all from the public on that. Those people are in the process of tearing down a pretty big house down here and putting a new one up. Under new business, Gregory Rath, 28 Hudson Way. The board voted to classify the project as a minor unlisted action. Look clear to the intent to be lead agency. A site visit is planned for January 6th at 9:30, which is this coming Sunday. The board also referred to the project to the county planning as well in the fire department. Other business, they were discussing how to return old escrows. There was a lot of escrows that are out there that never came back, and they didn't really say too much about it. It was brought up, but no one really had any ideas of how they're going to move forward with that. So that's it. The next planning board meeting is, first of all, it was adjourned at 9:30. Next meeting was January 17th, 7:30, via old VFW Hall.
Thanks, Bob. Zoning.
Zoning did not meet in the month of December.
Praise the Lord. Highway.
I have the highway report. Highway report, Carl Frazenda, work performed by the Philipstown Highway Department for the month of December. Happy New Year. The Highway Department hopes everyone enjoyed the holidays. Due to freezing rain and snow, the department is out salting, sanding, and plowing if necessary. The highway crews have been attending to potholes, grading roads, and clearing pipes and waterways. The new stainless steel truck body, which was budgeted for 2018, finally arrived and will get plenty of use on the older trucks. Last month, there was another dumping incident, this time a piano on Old Albany Post Road. The sheriff's department was called, and they will investigate. Maureen did put some musical notes next to the piano here. I just want to let everybody know that. But everyone shares in the cost of the cleanup of illegal dumping. The time, effort, and money it takes the highway department to clean up could be directed at more productive work towards keeping our infrastructure safe. We are asking if you see something suspicious, please call the Putnam County Sheriff's Department at 845-225-4300. We are currently in search of a vendor who will accept dumped tires at a low cost. Again, due to illegal dumping, we are incurring additional costs to clean up and get the tires. MS4 storm drains placards were placed on numerous basins on various roads. Because snow season is upon us, we would like to remind residents that plowing or shoveling snow from your property onto the town road is prohibited. We do not have time to send crews back to clean up the mess this creates. The Highway Department received approximately 20 calls, faxes regarding road concerns this month, and the Highway Department spent $1,878 on vehicle maintenance and repairs in December. Submitted Carl Frazenda, Highway Superintendent.
Thanks, John. Building and land acquisition, we're still working with Highland Architecture for the renovation of this building. We'll be meeting with them again soon to iron out the final details to get the bid out. It's definitely a complicated process from what we've seen so far.
The hazard assessment was done partially today. They're coming back tomorrow. So.
Oh, good. So we're moving ahead on that, just to let the public know. Cemetery Committee.
Okay, Cemetery Committee, because the weather is cooperating some, we're continuing to do actual individual grave cleanups on the actual faces to be able to determine more of the history and certain sayings and so forth that were on them. I did take a survey of North Highlands and McKeel's. As you know, in the previous reports, we've been spending virtually most of our time on the two village cemeteries. However, in performing an estimate, or rather evaluation of those, I'm going to ask the committee this month to consider possibly taking the stonemason and move him to North Highlands first and then McKeel's. The reason for this is I do have some concerns. Obviously, I will have him check them out, since I'm certainly not any kind of an expert in these areas. But it seems to me as though we have some foundation issues here, and I'm concerned that if we spend all of our time in the village cemeteries and we ignore these are liable to collapse, and we're liable to spend more money, and they're liable to get damaged and so forth. So in an effort to try to provide some proactive cost effectiveness, I'm going to ask the committee to consider having the stonemason move to those two cemeteries in the spring. And our next meeting is January 8th.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Yeah, the weather sure has been cooperating.
Yeah.
Butterfield Library. How are you, Jillian?
Hi, Jill.
What a pleasant way to spend an evening.
And congratulations, and I will reach out to you so that we could chat a little bit about the library. So I want to tell you some exciting stuff that's happening at the library this year. We just have recently been named a passport agency, so we can now help process your passports, take your pictures, and send them on your way. I've gotten a lot of calls, so I just want to let people know you don't necessarily have to go to a passport agency. You can renew a passport that's not old, say like 15 years old, if you haven't changed your name or it's not damaged, all by yourself. You don't need to go to an agency. But if you have any question whatsoever, call us, because I've had about 6 staff members trained to do just this. So we're going to do it by appointment only to begin Monday through Saturdays. So just contact the library and we'll help you out there. Another service that we're introducing, we just started, is a parking lot pickup service. Today, everybody's kind of used to this curbside pickup. You can go to McDonald's, they run out with your food, that sort of a thing. And for years, I've had an issue with the library. It's not easy for everybody to get into. Yes, we have handicap ramps, and we're even working on rebuilding one of those in the near future, but still, it can be difficult for anybody with a physical handicap. So what we will do is, and now today most people do order their stuff online, and a lot of times it's sitting behind our desk just waiting for you to come in. So especially in those instances, it's very easy for you to give us a call. Hey, I'll be there in 10 minutes. I put a parking lot sign up, parking lot pickup. It's bright red in the parking lot. Pull right up to that. You'll be on the security camera. We'll see you at the desk. We'll run out and hand you your stuff. So not only for handicapped people, but say for a busy parent with a car full of kids that they don't want to necessarily unload, or sick kids, or you don't want to come in the library, and we don't necessarily want you to come in the library if you're sick either. So we think actually it will help. We're starting it Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. to 4:45 in the beginning. We'll see how it goes, and hopefully we'll be able to expand it. I think it'll be something that really helps people. Just wanted to give you an update on our Jean Marzolo Children's Room. We finally have renderings of the drawings, which after I show Claudio and crew, I'll show everybody else. So we're going to have them on display in February on the stage of the library, and I'll also put them, of course, on our website. So people can come in and get an idea of what we're doing downstairs. It will include an open space for studying with flexible furnitures. All the tables will flip up and nest. All the chairs will be stackable. It will have 2 rooms downstairs completely made of glass walls. One will be a story hour room for little kids and moms and dads to read to their children. Another room that will be separated by a glass wall that can be opened will be our lab, and it will be a media lab, an art lab, a computer lab, or whatever kind of lab we need. And then our next phase after the G. Marzolo room, we've already received funding through grants through New York State is a community conference room downstairs, which will be wonderful because it will have its own access out the side door, so it would be something that theoretically we could allow somebody to meet in there after we've locked the building and armed it, and they can just simply go out the side door. So that's something we're excited about, and as I mentioned, a new handicap ramp, better parking spaces for handicap, and those kind of things. So those are some of the things in our future. That's about it. If anybody has any questions about this, they can contact me. I'm Jillian Thorpe, jbldirector@gmail.com. Any questions?
Not right now, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks for coming in.
Nice report.
All right, agenda, Joan?
Okay, first thing on the agenda is a resolution adopting local law number 1-2019 to amend Town Code Chapter 175 entitled Zoning to add the uses of art gallery and museum to the uses permitted in the office, commercial, industry, mixed-use OC district.
As usual, when we modify the code in any way, this goes to a public hearing. It's been the subject of numerous discussions, been referred to county planning. We do have a short environmental assessment form. So type 2 action requires no action, really. We do have the local law presented by our attorney. It is on file for anyone who would like to see it. Again, it's going to Putnam County Planning. It's approved as submitted. The Planning Board has discussed it, and the one issue that held us from adopting at the last meeting was a tax issue. In meeting with the owners of Magazzino, we've come to find out that the foundation will own the business. The ownership of the building will remain private. So they'll continue to pay taxes, and the foundation will own the business, which is Magazzino. Again, Magazzino is a gift to this community. It's just this great resource, this place that anyone can go to. This will allow them to have visitors whenever they want, whenever they're open, without appointments. Again, they offer numerous things to the community. They have a summer movie series that they have in the Palazzo, and anyone who hasn't been there should visit the museum. It's really something to have in this town. It's brought a lot of people here from colleges, high schools, people in the art world. So it's a real resource and a real positive addition to the town. I would say that the owners, Giorgio Speno and Mrs. Olnick, are just great people. I mean, they really have the best interests of this town. I think they were confused at some of the, pushback on this, but I think in meeting with them, they have nothing but good intent for the town. And this is just, again, I can't say enough about it. It's just a great place, a great addition to the town. One thing I hope doesn't happen there is the cell tower. It's a beautiful place to go. So our thanks to them, and we wish them the best. So with that, we have the secret document, the negative declaration. Could I get a motion adopting the negative declaration?
So moved.
This will be a roll call vote. Councilwoman Farrell, sorry about that.
Aye.
Councilman Flaherty?
Aye.
Councilman Tassel?
I vote aye.
Councilman Leonard?
Aye.
And then adopting the local law. This is a resolution adopting local law, the Town Code 175, entitled zoning, to add the use of art gallery and museum to the uses permitted in the office, commercial, industrial, mixed-use OC district. Could I get a motion on that resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
That'll also be roll call. Councilman Leonard.
Aye.
Councilman Van Tassel.
Aye.
Councilman Flaherty.
Aye.
Councilwoman Farrell.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Tell I'm getting a little tired. A long day.
Okay, the next resolution authorizing Roberto Mueller to complete the Unified Solar Permit application.
So we've spoken about this. It seems like nothing but positive for us, just to sort of streamline the process. If anyone's looking to do a project, there's no downside for us, so I would encourage the board to support this resolution. Could I get a motion on the resolution authorizing the completed Unified Solar Permit application?
I'll make the motion.
Second. All in favor? And I vote aye. Roberto, thank you so much for that. It's a lot of work.
It's also a roll call vote.
Roll call vote, well, on that one. Right, Councilwoman Farrell, I'm gonna butcher that up
Aye.
a couple times. Councilman Flaherty.
Aye.
Councilman Van Tassel.
Aye.
Councilman Leonard.
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Roberto does a great job.
Yes,
Yeah,
he does.
Really.
It's a lot of hours, and all to the benefit of this community. Anybody who is interested in any aspect of this can talk to Mike Leonard or Roberto.
I also saw in the paper today, we got a $15,000 grant
Yes,
through the Smart Community.
yeah, and that'll help out, definitely will help out in getting our climate smart communities designation. So,
Okay, the next is to schedule workshops and meetings.
right now, I don't have anything. I will say that We did change attorneys for the cell tower issue. I just got that notification today from the insurance company. I spoke with the attorneys today, so I'll be speaking to the board about that. Obviously not going to go too far into that as a legal matter, but we do have a new set of attorneys. We're going to try to get some adjournments done because there's supposed to be a deposition tomorrow of our RF consultant. That's a little too soon for the new attorneys to get in there and brief him. There's also supposed to be another deposition next Friday, which is also way too soon for these guys to get on board and have any efficacy. So I'll be speaking with them again tomorrow. I do have to sign the form tonight. I just received that this afternoon that does approve them coming on board to defend us in this matter. The motion to intervene by the neighbor's attorney was rejected, so that's a shame. Yeah.
He can't assist, do anything?
We can work with him still, but for him to come in and be an interested party and be recognized in
Can
court.
he act as a consultant, or?
He can, yes, and our attorney will be speaking with him.
He's got to utilize him.
Yes,
This
he will,
guy.
because I stressed that with them today, just saying, look, this guy has a wealth of knowledge about the issue, got a lot of background, and I would encourage you, and they agreed that they would give him a call
Well, that's good.
post haste, so they'll be working closely with him, and with the neighbors also. So that's it on the court front. Code enf-
No workshops.
No, nothing next week, and if we have something, I'll let you know.
Okay, next is the code enforcement monthly reports. The first one is from the Village of Cold Spring. This is for the monthly report from December. Fees collected, $875. Total number of permits issued, 7. Additions, alterations, or repairs, residential buildings, 6. Additions, alterations, or repairs, commercial buildings, 1. Number of certificates of occupancy, 4. Number of stop work orders, 1. Okay. Now, this is for the town. Fees collected were $14,645.73. Total number of permits issues, 26. New 1 or 2 family dwellings, 1. Additions, alterations, or repairs to residential buildings, 3. All other permits, pools, sheds, decks, plumbing, HVAC, etc., 22. Number of certificates of occupancy, 18. Number of stop work orders, 1. And inspection of public assembly, 2. And that's,
Greg Wonder for that report. Again, they do a terrific job, code enforcement.
now, is any other business?
Anything else from the board? It was a holiday season. Hopefully, everybody got a little time off. I got very little.
We have vacancies on the Conservation Board, 1, and Recreation Board.
Yeah, Judy. Great.
Sorry about that. I can think about it. Yeah.
Come up with somebody, maybe?
Yeah. Again, welcome to Judy Farrell. It's really, really great to have you aboard.
Thank you for your warm welcome and for all that you've done for our town. I'm really proud to be part of this team.
Yeah, we're glad to have you.
Looking forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Approval of vouchers, general.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Highway.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Continental Village Park District.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Continental Village Water District.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.